Hey guys, welcome to the recap of the Queen's Court, episode 2, Shoot Your Shot. So, how this episode opens up, we're in the Queen's Castle, and of course, Tamar, she's excited for the new batch of cookies coming to the castle. So, the girls, of course, they're looking forward for the new men that they will be dating. And these girls, they have such high energy. They pick the perfect queens to date these guys on this show. So one concern for Tamar is if the new guys are going to meet the old guys that they previously dated. And I'm like, oh, we're already going to get so much drama already. Oh my gosh. So the new batch of men arrive to be seen. And so they all have a sit down with the Petes, and pretty much they let these guys know that the ladies that they're gonna meet, they're in the public life, okay? So what the Petes are gonna do is that they're gonna put them to the test to see if they're ready for this lifestyle. So they're gonna have to go through a photo shoot with the lovely ladies. You know, the guys are already, interested and ready to meet these ladies. I'm excited for the girls to meet them. And one of the guys already is a standout, Billy Lennox. Oh, no, sorry. That's one word, Billy Lennox. I'm like, oh my gosh, the personalities that they find. Wow, I'm impressed. So the ladies, they enter into the room, and the guys, they're super excited, and they pretty much eyeing down the women. And the ladies, they're flipping their hair. They're giving the guys a show, having them get into the fantasy. And I'm just here to watch this go down. So the guys, they are already pretty much making their eye contact to what woman they're leaning towards to. And I am so excited for them to, finally introduce themselves. So for this episode, the ladies will be selecting at least 3 people to go on a date this time around. So it's gonna be more interesting than the last date, because in the first episode they all went out with 2 guys each on a date, but this week they get to add up to at least 3 guys onto a date. So Evelyn, she is pretty much looking for someone to build with, and she's talking to the guys, and she's getting all the information, asking if they have kids. Billy Lennox, he says he has kids. He has 3 kids. He has one at the age of 6, one 21, and one 31. So he started early, and that's interesting for Evelyn because she similarly too started early with her kids. And the other one that she was talking to, he has a 12-year-old. So, most of the guys on this show, they all have kids. They kind of at the moment in life where, they don't necessarily need to have a child. But if they do want a child, some of them are open. So pretty much most of the guys here, they either have been in a committed relationship, either being in a marriage or just a relationship, or they feel that this is their time now that they want to get married. So I feel like this is a good group of guys to choose from, especially for the ladies, given what what their priorities, what their focus is on. I feel like this is a good batch of guys. So when it gets to Tamar, the guys are opening up to her. One of the guys, they actually shared that they open up businesses, and I'm like, damn, that's a strong way to lead. And he's extremely successful, and he kind of makes a joke, and this is G-Sean, he makes a joke pretty much saying that his life is probably better than her life because he could still be private and enjoy his money and stuff like that. And Tamar, this was kind of like an eye opener for Tamar, saying, there's perks to being a celebrity. But I just remember Tamar saying in the previous episode that the issue with one of her past relationship, David, he was a guy who was private, and he did not like the private life. He did not like the public life. He didn't want to be so open and out there for people to dissect. So I feel like that this was kind of like a red flag for this guy, given that he is so successful. He can enjoy life pretty much as a private man with all his money and all his access. So it's an interesting position to be in for the guy to want to sign up to date a celebrity. Because, of course, these celebrities have a hard time dating because you don't know people's genuine intentions. And, your lives are open up pretty much for the media to discuss about. So I thought, even knowing how it ends this episode, I feel like this wouldn't have worked at all. It's so interesting. So for Nivea, she gets along with the guys, and Ty just pulls Nivea in for a photo. And I thought, Miss Nivea, she knows how to take a photo. She looks so good. And I thought they had good chemistry. I feel like, she's really happy with Ty, and Ty has such a great smile, very genuine. So I was kind of rooting for Ty and Nivea together in this episode. So I thought they were really cool. Levon, he pulls Evelyn in for a photo shoot. And I thought it was just pretty much shy energy. But of course, Miss Evelyn, she was cheesing. You could see all her pearly teeth. And I thought, okay, maybe if she's open and he's open, that could work. But I just sense a lot of shy energy. Now, Tamar, with the guy that starts businesses, she's talking to him and everything, and they're bonding. And she ends up asking him to go on a date, okay? Now, when Robert, the white man who was on the show, was talking to Evelyn, she makes a joke pretty much saying, her last man was white, and typically Evelyn, she dates black men. So for Robert, she let Robert know that he has a chance, and Robert, the white man, he takes it in. Mr. White Chocolate, he takes it in. He leans into it, and they go do a photo shoot together. And all I can see is like they look good together. Miss Evelyn looks way too happy. She looks so happy. Happy looks good on her. Like all she could do was cheese in that photo shoot. So she asked him on a date, and she always, like I said, she always dated black men, but she's being open to other races. So that's interesting to see. We'll keep an eye out on that. Okay, so in Nivea, when she's talking to this guy named Popular, and I'm like, is that his real name? His name is really Popular? But he says his government name is actually Popular, but you could call him Pop. I thought that was a cute nickname. I really like it. I really like, and he's so good looking. I thought he was nice to look at. But I wasn't getting much, from them aside from, these are just two good looking people talking to each other. But the gag moment of this episode has to go to Tamar talking to Billy Lennox, and him telling Tamar that, your ex actually discovered me. And the look on Tamar's face was like, oh my God, I cannot do this. This is a no. She is not mixing business and personal anymore. She's not doing that. And I thought, oh, what a way to, get a lady interested in you. Why would you say that her ex Vince discovered you, and now you want to kind of date Tamar? Are you looking to date Tamar? Like, what is the purpose of this whole conversation? Okay. So I thought that was a red flag. No. I'm like, oh my gosh. So Evelyn, she talks to Levon, and she's bonding with Levon, and she asked him on a date after having a good chat. So Nivea, she is so funny. She's in her group of guys talking, hanging. She's like, she asked all three of the guys at the same time if they want to go on a date with her. And they're like, yeah. And it's like, boom, 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 boom. She's going on a date with Pop. She's going on a date with Ty. She's going on a date with Tariq. So just like that, she has all her date slots filled in. And I'm like, are we going to get another moment where she wants to change her mind and takes back a date? Because I'm like, she bonds well with other people too here as well. It's just hard to tell with Nivea because she has such crazy good energy, and she bonds and clicks well with anybody. So I can see why she has trouble dating, because it's like you can bond well with everybody, but who do you have a genuine, real, emotional, romantic connection with? So I'm super curious to know, Nivea, who you're going to end up with at the end of this, because we know the results for Tamar and Evelyn, but I'm here for this journey for Nivea because I am so fascinated to see who she's going to end up with. I'm not even looking at spoilers for Nivea, okay? So Tamar, she picked her dates. So she's going on a date with Jishan because he has a sweet, gentle spirit. And, you know, the guys, they pretty much meet their competition. So they see the guys that were there before. And I'm like, oh. And it's time to mingle. So Tamar, of course, she gravitates over to JR. JR gravitates over to her. And they are locked in. So we're going to get the Tamar and JR show. I'm like, ugh. So, you know, JR, he is saying all the right things that, you know, any woman would love to hear. Like, I was eating up his words. And he gets to go on a date with Tamar. And I'm like, oh, how boring. I want Tamar to get a little bit uncomfortable. I feel like she's, you know, deciding too quickly to jump on the JR bandwagon. I feel like she should go see and date other men and really test to see if she really do have connections with JR or she's open to someone else. I feel like this is the whole point. Like, why are you picking the guy on the first date? Like, ugh. So Evelyn asked Michael, remember Michael from the previous episode, the one who's this, we learned that he is a sociopath. He confirmed, he said he's a sociopath. So she asked him on a date, and I'm like, gosh, if she only knew that he's friends with all his exes. Like, girl, I know Evelyn would not sign up for that. I'm curious. So he gets to go on a date with Evelyn. And, you know, we get to see Mac and Nivea. Remember, Nivea really liked Mac from the jump. Like, they had good vibes together. When they dressed up for the date, they both look like they go together. And Mac is like, he's super confident. He's like, I know I'm going on a date with you. There's no question about it. But then I'm like, oh, damn. Nivea already did ask all those 3 guys already before. I remember the situation before. Nivea, she took the date back from Nathan to go date Mac. So Mac was always not really like the first choice. He was like the second choice in the situation of it all. So I was wondering if this is gonna be another situation of it all moment. But she went and told him that she already, you know, decided all the 3 guys that the guys that she wanted to go on a date with. And he was a little bit sad. He kind of really wanted to go on a second date, okay? So Evelyn and Puff, they are talking. And Puff, I'm excited to interact with Puff because they have good vibes together. But he has this moment where he want to get some things out his chest. And I'm like, okay, sir, we already know you like to eat the feet. Like, so what you want to say today? He goes and say that, you know, he can't see himself leaving without her. And I'm like, this is way too quick. And Evelyn is like, her face is like, this is way too soon. I'm like, God damn, these guys, I don't know. You could have sworn they were held in isolation and all they had to do was sit and think about this whole situation. I felt like that was way too soon. So Nivea, she's talking to Raishan and she asked him on a date. Now, I didn't know we could have 4 people to a date because then I would have thought she would have picked Mac as her 4th. But, you know, Nivea, she said that they have a really good connection with each other. And what was interesting for her is that they shared the same tattoo. So she felt like that was like a sign. So she wants to, you know, find out more about Raishan. So she got 4 guys on a date, y'all. I'm just saying, they should have just made this show just for Nivea. Like, I'm sorry, Tamar and Evelyn, but Nivea, she is what is keeping me watching this show. She is the star. Okay, because we actually get to, you know, see how she dates and stuff like that. I like it. She's actually really embracing the whole situation. Now Tamar, she talks to Gatsby And, they meet up again for a quick little chat. And she seems receptive. He actually seems very receptive of the feedback that Tamar gave to him. So she asked him on a date, and he agrees to go. So we have our first date with Evelyn. And I just wish that this show followed a formula, because what I like to see is pretty much see the guys in their fashion, walk in, and then we go to the date. But this one was like, okay, it's a different structure. We're still getting, it's a new series, so we're working with what we got. So, of what you guys know, what I like to do is discuss their fashion. So, with their fashion, they were all in their sports outfits. So I'm like, okay, what we doing? But everyone is like really in their real life gym clothes. Like the clothes that the guys had on look like what the clothes that they actually go to the gym to. Okay. And I don't know how I feel about this for a day. Like they going to a gym, they're gonna work out. But Evelyn wants to put them on a boxing date-ish. I was looking around in the ambiance. I was like, I would never. So Evelyn says that she's going to want the guys to see if they're fit, to see how fit these guys are. And she wants to put them through a circuit. And whoever wins the circuit gets the first one-on-one. And when she said that, I knew I would quit. I would never. I obviously could not be the man for Evelyn Lozada, okay? So Levon, he's doing super well. And he gets the first one-on-one date. But he kind of looked like he was cheating a little bit. I don't know if he was actually doing what he was supposed to do, okay? So he opens up and he says he has a son who's 12. He was married for 15 years. And when he said that, I'm like, wow, why did he get divorced? Like 15 years and you got a son. Like, obviously you're not afraid of commitment. So why did they end in divorce? And, Evelyn asked that question. So he said pretty much he was married at a young age at 24. And he pretty much had the best divorce. So it wasn't such a bad, rocky, divorce, which is not a bad sign. For Evelyn, she when it gets to Evelyn, when she thinks about like her situation, when he asked her about her past, she feels like, she was married, but it was for such a short period of time that she kind of feels scammed of having a marriage situation. She loves love, and she would feel that this would be her first marriage. If she was to go through the whole situation again, she would feel like this will be her first marriage, one that's going to be long and lasting, okay? She then has a one-on-one with Robert, and Robert gives her Mr. White chocolate. She feels like he has a special sauce something about him that's so special. He came on a date with Jordans, guys, okay? So, and she is eating it up. She likes him. One of her concerns is that he's 36 and they have an age gap, but he makes it clear to her that he's not in the club scene. He wants to be at home with his family, with his wife. He's ready to settle down. So he's like, do not be shy of me. And he makes it clear that he looks like attracted to Evelyn and she's attracted to him. Now, when it came to Michael, remember, he's 43 and the architect. I'm like, this crazy guy. I can't. So Michael mentions that, he is connected with Nivea because he went on a date with Nivea, but he also wants to connect with Evelyn. And I feel like, Evelyn, I don't know, this guy doesn't know what he wants, but Evelyn wants to date a regular guy. She feels like this is the best situation to be in for her as a celebrity because she wants to date a normal guy. She doesn't want a guy in the celebrity life. She wants to be with a normal person, and I'm happy for her to see and watch her journey in this, to see how she gets to the person she gets to, okay? So with Nivea, she gets to go on a gardening date where the guys have to go to a garden and pick out all the supplies they need to make a pizza. And I thought this was pretty cute. I think between the 3 days, this one was my favorite day because I love pizza. I love eating. And the guys are making me food. Yes. Okay. So they're making pizza for Nivea, and the pizzas are pizzaing. They look so good. And I thought Nivea was too cute on this date. Like, she was giving so much fashion. In this garden, I like her outfit. The guys, they look very comfortable. Everyone's they look good. They look good. So on this date, she is the most impressed by Raishan's veggie pizza, and she says she has plans to be a vegetarian. But the way she was dancing to the pepperoni pizza, I'm like, girl, stop. We'll wait to see that. But the food did look super, super good. So she has a one-on-one with Raishan, and I'm happy she's giving him a chance because he seems like a really nice guy. He works hard, and I like that he said that love is a verb. So he likes to display and actually, show how he loves, not just say it through words. I like that. Now, when it came to Tariq, he's 35. He's the new guy. Tariq, he's 35, director of photography in Atlanta. When it came to him, I was kind of like, I don't know. He's a bit young, but he told a little bit about his background. He was raised by his mom, which is why he really supports queens, and he's a really nice, sweet guy. And he did give Nivea the look when he first saw her. Like, he had instant attraction. So I would like to see how that relationship grows. Now with Ty, he's 44. He's a safety manager at Point Blank, Texas. He tells her that he was instantly attracted to her. And I like that. He takes charge in that. Nivea, she was so feeling him. She's like, what a way to her heart, okay? Or her kitty cat. So when he was young, he did say he did his dumb stuff, but he is at the stage to settle down and be with someone for real. So I'm like, okay, Ty. Ty kind of reminds me of Mac, but the way she's treating Ty as the first option, not a second choice. And I feel so bad for Mac, okay? Now, when it came to Pop, his last relationship, Pop, he's a drummer. He's 41 from Atlanta, Georgia. His last relationship was a couple of years ago, but it phased out. But he is a commitment guy. So he's a guy who can commit, which is a good sign. I like that. They casted good people for this show, okay? So now moving to Tamar's tacos lunch. The reason why this date wasn't my favorite date is because the guys didn't really do much. I like when the guys did kind of do an activity for the lady. But here in this date, the food was kind of like laid out. And it was pretty much serve yourself with drinks. So I thought, okay. But of course, we have JR on this date. And JR is taking charge of the date. And I felt like, I feel like the old guys shouldn't be a part of the dates for the ladies. I feel the ladies should have at least a date with all the new guys, all the new people. And then, go back to your favorites, of course. But I felt like JR was super dominant in his date. And that doesn't bother Tamar because she obviously likes JR. And she seems decided on JR. So this date, of course, is the JR and Tamar show. Gatsby, he's kind, and he kind of interjects himself in a polite way, because Tamar, she wanted to talk to hear what Gatsby had to say, but he kind of opened it up for the new guy to let G-Sean have the opportunity to get to know Tamar. But G-Sean, with this opportunity, he was just bombing. He was just talking to her like he was a fan. I'm like, okay, you don't have to say you like. Obviously, she does music. But do you really have to do that on the first date where you're trying to get to know her? No. Why would you want to date someone like that who would even like that? I feel like you'd be dating a narcissist. No. So Tamar, she has a one-on-one with JR, of course. And, JR says that he has been in a relationship only with Black women and that this is not new to him. So that's a good sign for Tamar. Tamar, she likes that she can have adult conversations with him, which is refreshing for her because she seemed to not have had that for quite some time. So Tamar, she sees how this man is busy. He's an attorney. So she wonders if he manages to make time for himself and for his loved ones. And he pretty much says he has already booked travel plans to St. Lucia by himself. And this is a shocker to Tamar because she's been there, of course. And she wonders, oh, wow, you just go by yourself in a big old room by yourself? And he's like, yeah, he loves to travel by himself. He loves to reset and to restore his energy because of his workload. You know, he finds balance. And he is just saying all the right things to Tamar. So it's either, like she mentions, he either talks a good game or he's really a good man. But I don't know. We've seen in social media what's been going on, but I don't know. I feel like after going through 4 baby mamas, you would have found one that you like. Like, come on. I'm not judging, but I don't know. So she has a one-on-one with Gatsby, and she is really enjoying her time with him. You know, he's being himself. He's not being a gimmick. He's being serious, and he wants to be in a relationship with Tamar. But one feedback that Tamar gave is that he needs to slow it down. And I was like confused because I felt like, to me, for me watching it, I didn't feel like he was moving too fast or saying things that were uncomfortable. I felt like he listened to her feedback and really, took the time to, have her get to know him without him not being a caricature of himself or I don't know. I was so confused. But with Jishan, he's 43, supply chain executive from Atlanta, Georgia, the guy who has businesses on businesses. He, when he was talking to Tamar, he showed that he pretty much did research on Tamar. He mentions that Tamar have a champagne bar in her house. And I'm like, ooh. That's giving stalker vibes. She was looking at the camera, like the cameraman, like, what the hell? And then he says that he watched Tamar on Big Brother, and he was a huge fan. And I'm like, sir, red flag alert. Oh my God. You can tell Tamar has checked out. And he was wanting to, saying to her that, if we get in a relationship together, I would want to talk business, how to help you in business. And I'm like, this is a no. I'm like, oh my God. Knowing what I know already now with Tamar, with Vince, and what she has said already, that she pretty much learned from her past. She said, while she was successful with having her partner help her in business, she was also unsuccessful. And eventually she lost that partner. She's no longer with that partner. So I was like, oh no, it's a red flag for me. So, oh my God, she's going to be tied to JR for another week. I would love to see someone get Tamar's attention away from JR. I want to see if that's possible. I hope so. That would make it interesting for me. But thank God for Nivea, okay? So we have girl chat, and the girls, they agree that Michael needs to decide what he wants because, he's going on a date with Nivea. He's going on a date with Evelyn. Next week, what? He's going to try out Tamar. So Holly, she comes in, and she participated in girl chat and talked about, the girls' date. So Evelyn, her date with Levon went really well. She likes how thoughtful he is towards his partner, especially in the case where, he does not necessarily need more kids, but if his partner wants kids, he'll be willing to, to do that. So that was a good sign for her. For Nivea, she feels like she has connections with all these guys. Of course. I mean, she is so lovable and she is so open. She's such a good spirit. I want her to find love. She likes that Tariq is very wise. She feels friend zoned by Pop. But the thing is for her is that he is so easy to talk to. So she likes talking to Pop. Pop is good looking too. Ty, she feels so much sexual attraction. but she wants to get deeper with him. And I feel like, that's why I feel like Ty is winning above Mac. Because, yeah, she's attracted to Mac too. But with Mac, she has the deeper connection. They have the same upbringing, same roots. So I feel like, Ty is going to give Mac a run for his money. Now, for Tamar, she mentioned that Gatsby is moving too fast and that G-Sean is too much of a fan. And for JR, it's just like he's just have a gift of gab. Like, is he real or is he playing? So I'm like, oh, Tamar. Now, they talk about the guys who didn't get a date. For Billy Lennox, okay, one word, Billy Lennox, they worried that what he would wear in holiday events, which, of course, I would be too, because his outfit is too gimmicky, I feel like. Is that really your style, sir? And then with Mac, of course, Nivea, she felt an instant connection with him, but she felt a little bit bad that he was disappointed that he didn't get to go on a date. But she was happy to get to know Rayshawn more, which is, good because Rayshawn is such a good guy, a nice guy. Now, when it came to Puff, Evelyn did not like that he prayed about her being together with him. And it was just too soon, too fast, okay? So now these ladies, they have to decide and invite which guys they want to come to the dinner party for the dinner date for the elimination party. So who they invite for the dinner date elimination party is G-Sean, Gatsby, Billy Lennox, Puff, and Popular. And I felt so bad for Gatsby because this is his second time again at the dinner party. And so he knows what's going down here, but he does not discount himself, okay? So Evelyn, she speaks to Puff. And she talks to Puff. She's like, Puff, how did you get your name? And he said it's because everyone thought he looked like P. Diddy. I didn't really see the family resemblance, but if you do, let me know down in the comments below. And she felt like, it's a bit amateur to call a man, immature to call a man a nickname that was not given to him by his mama. And I agree, like, no. Red flag. And her other concern is that he lives in South Carolina, but he said he is willing to move to California. I don't know how serious he is about it, but if he prayed on it, he should be, flexible. You would think so. Now, Nivea, she speaks to Popular, and, she's a bit unsure, but she sees potential in their relationship for a romantic relationship. She feels such a strong friendship with him. I just think he's just good looking. Now, when Evelyn and G-Sean talk, Evelyn kind of gave him the heads up. G-Sean, he feels like he does not think of Tamar as a celebrity, but Evelyn points out the ways that he did and that how that can make a woman feel a certain way. And that kind of, clicks for him as an aha moment that he crossed boundaries and he wants to make it right. So we get a conversation with Tamar and G-Sean, and he brings her a card and an apology, it's pretty much an apology card and an apology champagne. And he's trying to make it up to her, and she's receiving it. And, she thought the gesture was very sweet. Gatsby, he swoops into the chat, but he kind of talks to G-Sean, and Tamar is just sitting there, so it's a little bit awkward. We then get a scene with Billy Lennox and Evelyn. Remember, Billy Lennox, he's 45. He's the music producer in Los Angeles, California. So Evelyn gets to the bottom of the tea. She's like, do you really dress like this all the time? And he said, no, he doesn't dress like this all the time. But from every now and then he does. But he typically likes to give rock and roll. And he likes to open up his closet for the woman that he's with. And I thought that was really interesting. I say, sir, you're not saving yourself at all, okay? So now Tamar and Gatsby are alone and they're talking. And he is saying to her how humble he is about this opportunity he is to get to know her and to try to have a relationship with her. But he's just a little confused. I am a little confused too, because I don't see what is he doing wrong. I just think she's just not attracted to him and she's not into him. He does not know what Tamar wants from him. And I think this is so valid that he calls it out to her in a very polite way. And, I just feel like she's just not interested in him. And she's just being nice and coy and very subtle about it. So we get to the dinner elimination. And already you see Tamar, she's talking bad about Gatsby. I'm like, oh my God. I feel so bad for Gatsby if you watch back these episodes and he sees how Tamar really feels. Like, I feel so bad for him. And I hope in the next episode it gets a little bit better. But we'll see. Tamar, she goes in. She said, Gatsby is such a roller coaster. And then the guys, they come in and they take their seats. Of course, the hosts, the Pete's, they're so nice and inviting, and they open up the conversation for the ladies to express to their men how they feel. So Evelyn, she talks to Puff. She says that, she connected with Puff, and her concerns is that they are at different places in their lives, but she wants to get to know him more. So I was shocked. I thought Puff was on his last leg here, and he is safe, okay? Then we get Tamar addressing Gatsby. Gatsby, remember, he's 35, a filmmaker from Los Angeles, California. So Tamar goes to say how funny Gatsby is, but the conversation last time scared her and felt like that he was moving too fast, and she wants him to slow down. And I'm just waiting for her to say that you gotta go home. But she shocks us and say that he is safe and he gets to stay. And I'm like so shocked. I'm like, oh my God, please don't break his heart too hard. Then Nivea, she addressed Pop, and she says to Pop how cool and how fly he is, how super comfortable she is with him. But the issue is that there's no romantic sparks, no vibes, no tingles with her or the other ladies. So Pop is eliminated, and we don't get to look at Pop no more. Oh my God, I felt like Pop should have stayed. Like, come on. But I don't know. Did you guys get the vibes that he was not attracted to the ladies? I didn't get that per se. I felt like maybe he takes things slow. So Evelyn, she addressed Billy. She tells Billy Lennox that, you have your own style, your own sense of confidence, your own sense of self, but didn't feel a connection with him, and he is eliminated. In his confessional, guys, he says that, these girls are not his type that he would typically date. And I'm like, okay, good riddance. We don't have to feel bad for you. On to the next. So Tamar and Jishan addresses Jishan. And Jishan, he already have his head down. I'm like, keep your head up, King. Don't do that. And when he had his face down, I was thinking, aw. And Tamar, she gets kind with him, and he says that he has dealt with so much big deals that he's never felt so much stress in his life. And I felt for him. He is just so sweet. I just think it was just word vomit. He was so nervous, intimidated, so he didn't know what to say. So he just wanted to be sweet and kind. So Tamar, she appreciated his kindness and respect, but only see him on a friendship level. So he is eliminated. And Jishan, you can learn from this, don't feel so bad. So guys, there's 5 new singles coming next week to get into this mix. I'm excited to see how these girls interact with the new men and how the old men are going to interact with the new guys. Oh my gosh, so much information, so much drama, so much tea. I am here for it. I do like this series, and I can see the potential in the future how they do the second season. But they can also do spin-offs on where they at now. This could turn into a whole dating situation where, you see them like after they date in the Queen's castle and they have King and Queen's castle court. I don't know, but I see so much potential in this show. I really do look forward to, follow Nivea's story and how she, go through this journey in finding her love. We already know who Tamar and Evelyn are dating, so are not dating, are engaged too. So we just got to see the process. But if you guys like this recap, please like and share, and don't forget to subscribe. I want you in part of this gang, so stay tuned for more. I do intend to do more recaps of the Queen's Court, available on Peacock, all 10 episodes, but we will be recapping as quickly as possible all the episodes. So leave me in the comments what you guys think. I want to know what you guys got to say. Talk to you guys later. Bye.